Welcome to the My Online Golf Coach studio, where today we'll be analysing Rory McIlroy's golf swing. From a lovely starting position, Rory has a very simple move away where the upper body will control what the arms, the hands and the club are doing, and it's a very much linked move away where the upper body can just work the club straight down the line. Now from this stage, the club head and club shaft will gather inertia and then we'll start to set onto a really nice plane. So initially the upper body will control the move away, and then the club will gather pace and just set on plane here. And you can see that the club is nicely on plane relative to the golf ball at this stage, and will continue to be so. So as he continues to turn his body and work the club toward the top of the backswing, you can see the plane of the shaft is very consistent, and it gets to a lovely slotted position at the top of the backswing. This is exactly where Rory's going to want the club at the top. When he goes a little bit off track, it will tend to get a little bit long, and in this case it does also. You can see the club still really nicely on plane here, but as it disappears behind his hands, it gets a little bit long at this stage. By the time it comes back out the other side, the plane of the shaft isn't quite as good a quality. You can see already that the club has actually changed angle now, which will create a changing of plane for the downswing. So I think as Rory continues to develop his game, as all good golfers do, that club will slot at the top, it will shorten, but then it will come down that plane line that it's set at the top of the backswing on, instead of just changing its angles. The transition for Rory is really strong. He grounds himself here. You can see he has a little squatty motion here where he's really pushing himself against the ground, and now from this stability and grounding in the lower body, now he can really start to activate the core muscles to create leverage, and the energy is working up his body as the downswing continues. So he's against the ground and working the middle of his body here now, and when he works the middle of his body, he's generating leverage on that club. So he's going to continue to work his body, and we can see that the plane of the shaft will continue to change because it doesn't come out quite on the right plane at the top. So it shallows, gets into a really good position here, but the club will continue to shallow and gets a little bit underneath his forearm at this stage here, which is a little bit unusual for a really top player, but Rory likes to play with a draw, so it's not unusual to see it slightly under plane at this stage, but you can see that the club's had to almost cartwheel its way down under plane at this stage. Now Rory will make up for that by a fantastic body rotation through the ball. So even though it's a little bit underneath his forearm with the club shaft, he's going to really turn the body hard. You can see the hips, abs, core, chest and shoulder alignment are really opening now hard, which will then enable him to compress the ball down the target line. But you can just see how open he gets his body at this stage, which will then help the club stay square relative to his body through the impact area. So even though it gets a little bit under plane, he has a brilliant body rotation through the ball, stays on plane here, and then he can work through to the finish of his swing. Very dynamic looking swing, but as I say, I think as the months and years go past, you'll probably want to keep it a little bit more online at the top and get that plane a little bit more consistent through the swing. To receive a more in-depth analysis of your golf swing, just visit us at www.myonlinegolfcoach.com. Thanks for listening.